Hey everyone, are you ready for a wonderful story? We're going to head deep into the forest for this one. It's all about some rather grumbly mushrooms and some very, very sweet berries. Okay, so picture this. It's a warm, sunny day in this beautiful green forest. I mean, the place is just buzzing with life, right? You can smell the flowers and hear all the happy birds singing. And wow, the forest floor was just covered in delicious, sweet berries. I'm talking everywhere you looked. There were juicy wild strawberries, plump little blueberries, bright red raspberries, and these dark, shiny blackberries, all just growing happily in the sunshine. But, even in the happiest places, someone's not always so cheerful. And in this forest, someone was, they were not happy at all. And can you guess who that grumpy voice belonged to? Yup, it was Borovic, the big, important Porcini mushroom. He thought of himself as the leader of all the mushrooms. He just sat there under this huge oak tree, puffing himself up with pride and just getting grumpier and grumpier by the second. He was huffing to himself, thinking, "We mushrooms are a great and powerful force. We are going to show those sweet little berries who is really the most important in this forest." And right then and there, he decided it was time to gather his mushroom army. So Borovic has this grand plan. But how's he going to get the other mushrooms to join in on his big, silly argument? Let's see what happens. Okay, so first up, he calls out to the wave mushrooms. The ones with the cute frilly edges called the volnushki. He was totally sure they'd want to join him. But the wave mushrooms, they just kind of waved their frilly caps and very politely said no. They said, "Oh no, dear, we're much too old for all that fuss." Well, no luck there. But Borovic doesn't give up. Next, he calls out to the honey mushrooms, the apionki, who are all huddled together on a log. But the honey mushrooms just wobbled on their super skinny stems and said they couldn't possibly join in. They said their legs were just way too thin for any kind of marching. Okay, now Borovic is starting to get a little bit frustrated, you can tell. He spots the wrinkly morel mushrooms, the smorchki, and shouts over to them. And what do you think they said? Yup. The morels just shook their wrinkly little heads. They grumbled that they were far too old and wise for such foolishness. All right, this is his last chance. Borovic sees the milkcap mushrooms, the gruzdi. He uses his loudest, most commanding voice he can, really hoping they'll be brave enough to join. And it worked. Success. The gruzdi mushrooms all answered at the same time. Whoosh! They popped right out from under the leaves, a whole bunch of them, totally ready for an adventure. At last, Borovic's mighty mushroom team was finally forming. So there they are, the big mushroom army all ready to go. They're standing so tall and proud. You can just imagine the little blades of green grass beneath them, trembling and thinking, "Oh my goodness, there's definitely going to be trouble now." So just as they're puffing out their chests, getting all ready to march, something happens. A visitor arrives, someone they were not expecting at all. It's this lovely lady named Aunt Varvara, and she's just strolling into the clearing. She's humming a happy little song to herself, and she's carrying this great big empty basket. And you know what? Just like that, the whole big argument was over before it could even start, because when Aunt Varvara saw that huge group of mushrooms all together in one spot, her eyes just lit up. She couldn't believe her luck, and so she started gently picking every single one and popping them right into her basket. With her basket completely full to the top, she happily carried all the mushrooms home, so pleased with her wonderful find. And inside that cozy basket, they were all jumbled up together. You had the proud Borovic right next to the tough gruzdi, and the skinny-legged apionki, the old volnushki. Everyone was in there together. And as they all sat there, bumping along in Aunt Varvara's basket, they learned something really, really important that day. They finally figured it out. Their silly quarrel didn't matter one bit. It is so much better to live peacefully as friends in the big, beautiful forest. What do you think? Isn't it always better to be friends?